folks, and welcome to another episode of That Ninja Show. Shinobi One here. I'm in my civvies because, as you can tell, I got a little bit of a cold. Still dealing with it. Still hacking. Every once in a while, I make pause so I can hack out a lung. But I wanted to touch on some things that have been popping up in the news lately for people that collect these or practice with these or both. And some of those, which we'll talk about those too. I know some of y'all see them on the wall and be all like, what are those? We'll talk about them eventually. Not right now. This is stuff that's been kind of on my mind when I can't sleep at night because I'm busy hacking up a lung with this illness of mine. So, anyway, had a cough, so there it went. So I saw in the UK, they have a ban on ninja swords, and that's probably going to be all of these in particular. Spoiler alert, you're about to know probably where I sit on the political scope. I am born and raised in Texas. I am a God-fearing, gun-shooting, sword-swinging mofo. I believe in training for all of these items. I believe you need to be competent in handling these tools to defend yourself, to defend your loved ones. I'm a firm believer in training. So not only for firearms, but yes, for these and those and those. I believe you got to have some training. I don't believe that, you should just be able to go out and buy something and not, a tool and not be able to learn how to use it. Or learn to use it like, with someone that's a competent instructor. Because no one's ever just like flopped out of their mom's vajayjay and was able to drive a Maserati, 100 miles an hour down the road, the main highways or whatever. If they did, then would really love to see that video. Well, maybe not. Anyway. So with that in mind, I see that the UK is going to be buckling down on these. Well, I already know that they've already banned guns. I know that they've already banned kitchen knives. I'm surprised they didn't get to these already. I would have thought this would have been above kitchen knives, but kitchen knives, really? I feel bad for a lot of the practitioners around the world where there are some laws that place limitations on them. For instance, I know my buddies in Australia, they have some limitations on some of these items. I feel bad for them, Texas, I can open carry this. I can go full on Highlander, Princess of the Universe, if I wanted to, but not something that I would really consider doing. Walking around with a sword, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've seen stupid people that were, back in the day, that were pushing for open carry here in Texas, and they'd walk around, go to Starbucks and with an SKS around their shoulder. What the hell is that trying to prove? We went open carry. Work on it through the laws. Work on it through the government. Whether they're corrupt or not, still try and work on it. Yeah. So, I feel bad for the UK because they're supposedly going to do weapons buybacks on these. And, well, not these particular, but your typical ninja sword or maybe even these two. I don't know. If there are people that do watch this channel from the UK, please chime in. Let me know, what's going on. I hope that this is something that's going to be, it's going to fall on the wayside. But I have a feeling that it won't. Seeing what's already happened, my cousin and he used to live in the UK, and his wife is from England. And I did hear that, yeah, there was a lot of stuff that's changed around there that's not for the good. So again, wish you all the best. Wish I could do something, but I'm not gonna pirate weapons in for y'all. I have limits, really. So with that in mind, give me some feedback for those of you that have seen that news. If you think it's crazy, if you think it's right, or if you think it's all BS. I seem to think it's all BS. That competent people have to suffer for isolated incidents. And I can always see where people try and argue with me about the whole guns thing, because I was taught how to shoot a gun at the age of 7. I learned how to be responsible with firearms from the age of 7 to where I am now, which is 45. I mean, no. Switch it around. Old man, 54. Trying to give myself a little bit less age there. Way to go, John. But the thing about it is that there's got to be training. And so with that in mind, give me some feedback. Let me know what you think. Y'all have already seen this one before. I love this sword. I put the original Tsuba back on. I've got my other Tsuba back there on the wall. Got this little guy with me, which y'all seen, still available. If y'all seen the previous video, check it out. You can get some information on how to get these if you still want them. And then, yeah, we will be talking about these eventually. So, but that's really what I wanted to touch on for this right now, with the whole news about the banning of weaponry, the banning of tools. I call them tools, really. I don't really think of them much as weaponry. I think of them as tools. And I think that's a sad day for most practitioners in that area, because they're going to have to figure out what the hell they're going to do if, in fact, they're going to start clamping down on this. So, brothers and sisters of the UK, I wish you all the best. For those that practice over there, be it in Aikido or Kinjutsu or Ninjutsu, any other sword art, I wish you all the best. So stay tuned for more ninja news here on That Ninja Show. Welcome back, folks. So the next thing I want to talk about has some positive and maybe for some of you not so positive. 2025 is shaping up to be the year for some pretty cool ninja video games. I don't play a lot of video games. I do watch a lot of gamers on YouTube. I always like to watch reactions and people that play through some games and such. I used to play a lot of video games, but I'm sort of old school, where it's like Modern Warfare 2 on 360, Modern Warfare 1, the original Army of Two, Gears of War 2, playing these games with my brothers Brandon, J Delb, and Jeremy and Brian. Those were the days. So playing till like 4 o'clock in the morning. Modern Warfare, be like, all right guys, good game, gotta work in about 15 minutes, and then all of a sudden you see the next map is shipment, and you're all like, damn it, all right, one more time. So those were the last few games that I played. I see that the Ninja Gaiden series has really got some titles coming out this year that are amazing. And then we got to see Assassin's Creed bring out their take on feudal Japan. Which I watched a couple of people play, And certain scenes, and for those of you that have seen the controversy behind this game, you know what I'm talking about. Um, it really caused a stir, and Ubisoft, out of the Canadian area, which I refer to them as YOUBESOFT, because they really pushed the narrative in that game where it's like, man, nothing is sacred anymore. And it makes me fearful for the movies, you know. Got nothing against Yasuke and the following tales of him with Oda Nobunaga. I love Japanese history, but they had to throw in some pixie dust, I would say, to try and nerf him down some and make him be someone that he may not be. There's no proof in what they're putting out. It's all put out by this lady who did studies about, well, I won't get into that there, but I will put some links at the bottom of my findings on this, and finding it really despicable. For instance, during its initial release, the Japanese government had kind of sent a stern warning to the game company because it depicted the characters destroying certain areas of Japan that have some historical significance. So it's that whole narrative of let's destroy our history and try and rewrite it with this bullcrap that people are pulling out of their butts. And it's like we've already seen that done with some of the movies that we grew up with. Like Star Wars, I originally was going to do a channel dedicated to Star Wars, and after seeing what Disney had done to those movies, I was just like, oh, hell no. And then plus, there's a lot of other YouTubers out there, Star Wars Theory, Neo Rocks, Snarky J Cosplay, a lot of them that are already fighting the good fight, telling it like it is, that the crap that Disney is putting out with Star Wars is a bunch of crap. Plain and simple crap. So I was gonna join in that fight, but I'm like, I'm too old and too tired, and what's still sacred that hasn't been violated essentially is ninja movies. So try and keep them preserved. Maybe, stay in that same theme if people do fan fiction, and not add the pixie dust to it. But yeah, they did a really bad spin for Yasuke, from what I can see in the game. And then of course there's the female main character who has not a playful love affair with another girl in the video game. Usually when you see like Japanese girl on girl type of situation, it's the little playful laughing and no, innocent beating around. Well, I won't say the bush because people may take that wrong. Anyway, but from what I've seen in the video game, it's aggressive. Like, I was waiting for her to say, I'm ready to eat you like a whoa, time out, chica. So, yeah. Where are you going with this? What the hell are you doing? Anyway, so I'm not really down with what the supposedly storytellers of today are trying to push around as a narrative. Star Wars is already destroyed. I don't know if it's going to come back. I think it now comes down to, well, and again, always being a Star Wars fan, I'm always going to talk about it here. But I remember when George Lucas talked about it, where he said that, back in the 70s, it was the big corporations that were running Hollywood, and they would take a poll and say, oh, everybody's into this, so we all need to push this out now. And it almost seems like history has repeated itself in the worst way possible. So it's going to take independent filmmakers to do what needs to be done to really pull people back in and really tap into people's imaginations, to go to a movie and be lost for an hour and a half to 2 hours and a half, or play a video game and get fully involved in the story without it being, whoa, there is this type of, action going on right here in my face. At least in like some of those video games of the old, like I was talking about, the ones that I played, like Modern Warfare 2, there was that one shooting scene in the Russian airport that said, hey, this is pretty graphic. If you want to skip it, skip it. Me, hell no. I was like, I'm in there, baby. Of course, people can call me a gun-toting psycho, but I haven't done anything criminal-wise. I'm pretty sure that my record is cleaner than a lot of people out there that try and point fingers. So, just saying. In any case, buyer beware for Assassin's Creed. I feel like it's... And then they keep pushing it out there. Oh, we're selling millions of games. No. The sales have been... I've seen the sales. They're pathetic. I think the Snow White movie is in a deadlock tie with them, possibly. So, in any case, wanted to kind of go deep and talk about some things here, and just kind of open a discussion with some of y'all. Love to hear feedback from y'all, and we'll get back on track with that guy soon. And once I get my voice into where I'm not coughing and hacking my lungs out, still more product reviews to come. And yeah, stay tuned for more from that ninja show. For now, Shinobi 1 signing off. Have a great weekend, folks. Be safe out there. Again, my heart goes out to the people of UK that are going to be possibly losing their training tools. So I wish you all the best. Take care.